All right, folks, it's Tuesday, y'all. We are back on schedule, back on time. You're live with Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast Hip Hop. My co-host Dusty's in the dugout. And before I get the show started, I got to say what I got to say, folks. And it goes like this. From the West Coast to the East Coast and everything between, folks, from Eve after dark to concerts in the park, you're live with Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast Hip Hop. It's N.W.A, baby. Not without Alonzo, but my co-host, Dusty Vision, in the dugout standing by. All right, there it is. There it is. What's up with you, Doc? Can you hear me?
Man, can't complain,
I'm
Lonzo.
fine,
how you doing
I'm just doing
today, man?
Today. It's been a...
Yeah, I hear you good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
That's what's up. Cool. Shout out to the chat, man. We got a lot to talk about, Lonzo, but we got to start with the big story, the viral story that's been going viral past 24 hours or so. And if you're living under a rock, I'll explain what happened. But most of you are probably familiar with the big brawl on the Alabama River. A massive brawl in Montgomery, Alabama ensued after a group of white people targeted a black riverboat worker over boat parking. Viral videos show a group of white men jumping a black boat worker. Eventually, the tables were turned when black riverboat attendees and customers and witnesses came to the workers' defense. You saw Alonzo, I saw it. A lot of you out there saw it. Motherfuckers were jumping in and out of the water. Mofos were getting whacked with chairs. It was a damn WWF wrestling event. I love seeing bullies get beat up, man. And those dudes were bullies for what they did to that dude. Talk to me, man. When you saw this video, what were your thoughts?
I'm like, wait, hold on. Wait, what? Oh, shit. Like everybody else. Because it was 5-on-1, 6-on-1 for a minute. I don't know if homeboy throwing the hat up in the air was a homie signal or what, but boy, they came running like the cavalry, okay? I mean, yeah, the first brother tried to break it up a little bit. He tried to be a little bit more diplomatic and break it up. And no. The homie shut it. No. We gonna whoop some ass today. Fuck this. We whooping some ass. And they got to smashing folks. They tried to go to the boat and I guess maybe get away or figure the boat was home plate or something. No. We coming aboard, baby. We finna what you call it? Pull a mutiny on this son bitch right here. And homeboy with the swimming, that dude got to be in shape. First of all, I saw a video. He was a young dude. He
16.
swam about 20 yards, jumped out the water soaking wet. If anybody goes swimming, you know damn well getting out the water, getting out of a pool, especially you had to put yourself up, can be a little bit strenuous. Homeboy jumped up and ready to get busy.
Yep, and I don't know if you know this part, Alonzo, but alligators are very prevalent in Alabama, especially in that part of Alabama. So much so that anyone can look this up if they want to. The world's largest alligator was found in Alabama, and this 16-year-old cat jumped in that water to save his fellow man.
The gator wasn't gonna catch him. Homeboy had a motorboat on his ass. He was flying. He was on some Mark Spence shit right there. He had his motorboat kicking. You know what? If I was a judge, and I had to look at the whole video, the only person that might go to jail is chairman.
Which one was that?
The final chairman hit the lady who was
the chairman.
The chairman.
Yeah.
He got a problem. He cracked the lady upside the head who was not actively doing anything at the time of the assault. She wasn't assaulting him. She was sitting down. He just walked over and said, "Oh, white person, crack." Okay, that's all it was. He saw somebody sitting down. He cracked her over the head. And they cuffed him up right away. He got a problem. Everybody else might go home with some miscellaneous bullshit, but he might have a little bit. He might need a lawyer. That's my opinion. Oh, don't be nothing for the YouTube. Nobody else. Dusty, nobody else. I think he may need a lawyer.
Yeah, he went a little wild, man. I know you had a rule back at the Eve that if you ever get into some shit and you got jumped on, that if anybody didn't jump in, their ass is fired. Yeah,
dude. If you see me get my ass whooped especially by more than one dude, if all the people I got to pay every Saturday night, if y'all ain't getting lumpy too, I'll be having a new crew the next weekend. That's for damn sure. I'll have a new crew the next weekend. Fuck that. I mean, if I'm fighting somebody, just watching my back. But if I'm getting jumped, nah, dude. If you see me knocked out, drag me to safety. Okay, don't let them just whoop me like a rag doll. Hell no. And we've had some tight situations. Once I implied that rule, everybody knew their position. Okay, at least take some pressure off of me. Take some of these shots.
Yep. Hey, that's fair, man. That's fair enough. Check this out, Lonzo. You're 65. You know, you just so happen to take a trip down south to Montgomery, Alabama. I don't know why you'd want to do that. No disrespect to Miss D. I love you, homegirl. But you take a trip to Montgomery, Alabama. You're at the riverboat, Lonzo. You see old boy getting his ass whooped by 4 or 5 white dudes. What's Lonzo doing?
Lonzo's gonna first try to go down there and see what's going on. If they still whooping on him, I got to pull him off of him. I'm gonna start throwing some blows. I'm gonna get my ass out of Alabama too. I'm gonna cut my
fast, right?
I'm get my ass out of Alabama. Okay, if that's one thing I loved about Tupac. People don't realize when Tupac was in Georgia, I think it was, he was in a limousine and saw some cops give some 2 white guys giving a brother a hard time. They was beating up on him. Tupac shot one of them cats. He might have shot both of them. Okay, got out and shot him and beat the case because they didn't identify themselves as cops. All he saw was 2 brothers beating up on the brother, 2 white boys beating up on the brother in Atlanta or Georgia, and he went to his aid. So when I talk about people, oh man, you should. That's who I want on my team. He done proved himself already. He done proved himself to be a team player. He gets the jersey, okay? He gets the jersey. So yeah, that's been my thing. I don't just videotape. If you see me get my ass whooped, I don't need all the different angles. This is not a motion picture. I'm getting my ass whooped. Somebody assist me, okay? Especially if you ain't doing good at all. If you out there damn near ragdolling, dude, don't need no more videotape me ragdolling. Come save my ass. Get me out. Ooh, geez. OG Steve, much love, baby.
OG Steve.
I see my boy. Who else? Hologram EMC.
Hologram MC. He said. Hologram MC said that them intervening may have saved that man's life. I have to agree with that one.
They could have drowned his ass. I mean, you got 6 cats beating on somebody, dude. All that videotape. Let the women videotape. Men gotta get in the mix.
When he threw up that hat, Lonzo, I was dead. I said, that was just the beginning of the greatness of this video, dog. This nigga's wearing.
I tell you, what the funny part was when the cavalry came in, they got almost to the boat, they start skipping. Okay, the niggas start skipping. You see niggas start skipping, it's
man, pulling up their shorts and shit and skipping. Oh, it's on, baby.
They made it. It's only a matter of time now before it's going down. There's no more negotiation. They done went into childhood mode. They finna start skipping and whooping on your ass. All right,
you crazy dog.
You got 3 grown
when niggas start skipping. It's on.
It's 3 grown ass men skipping. Come on, man.
Skipping sandals at that, dog.
Come on, dude. Yeah. Gary's garage to the guy in the chair got locked up. I can see that one, Doc.
There it is, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah. And he wasn't no young buck. He was an old school player. He was old school. He should have known better than that one. He picked the wrong. If he'd hit one of them guys, he might have had a little action. But he hit a woman, dude. That ain't gonna fly, especially down south.
Yeah, that's not cool. He's gonna get locked up. Let me ask you, Lonzo. This is the South, and I'm seeing a lot of news outlets and media outlets making this a race thing. Do you think this was a race thing?
Yeah.
Okay, break it down.
You got 5, 6 white boys jumping on one brother for doing his job. Okay, for doing his job. He asked you politely not to park your boat here. You parked it anyway and walked off like pretty much fuck you. Okay, and then when he
we lost Lonzo. I think
he was trying to
all right, we're back.
He was trying to move the boat so the other boat can dock. And he was pushing it, and they like, dude. And the dude that ran up behind him actually started to fight. I'm not even sure if that was his boat or not, because he came from another boat. He came from another direction altogether. One guy came down the gangplank, the other guy came from another direction, and they had him surrounded. It was three guys. It might have been a matter of a second. And one cat, I guess he was filling his oats and some of that goddamn Miller draft, and decided he gonna do what he can do. And homeboy can't handle 5 people. He don't know no karate. He knows no martial arts, but that nigga knew cap. My man knew cap. Okay, hologram EMC, much love to you, baby. I see you.
Yeah, good looking out.
Yeah, so he threw his cap up, but I don't know whether that was a new sign or what, but it looked like it's gonna be the new sign for social media. They come in with that cap.
I'm gonna get a shirt. Oh, I'm gonna get a shirt. It's on and cracking.
Everybody.
Oh, they do. Somebody said they got T-shirts out already. But Hologram MC says that the guy allegedly quoted, and we don't give fake news unless we really know, that the guy said, "You don't tell me where to park my boat, boy." I didn't hear any audio. I just heard people yelling, so I don't know about that.
Yeah, see, I can see that, man. I can see that, and that was a straight first-hand experience of white privilege. I'll do what I want to. You can't tell me shit. That was white privilege. Yeah. 5 cans, and one homie, and all of a sudden they say, you got the whole hood. You got everybody from the dinner table skipping.
Skip like Dub C's ass. Skip.
Yeah. Skipping and swimming to get your ass. Oh, you could tell they must have been waiting on that. You're like, oh hell no. Okay, could you imagine? Especially now, here's the part people don't realize. Even a situation like that, everybody got on swim trunks and flip-flops. The most even fight you can possibly have. Nobody don't have no weapons. If they're not on the boat, if the weapon's not on the boat, they're not in your pocket. The chance of you getting shot is slim and none. Okay? The chance of you getting shot or stabbed is slim and none. Let's throw them. We got them outnumbered. And they set it off. So, hey, what can I tell you?
Yeah, man, I hope that 16-year-old kid gets a promotion. I hope he gets some GoFundMe or something, because that dude, man, he's the real hero in all of this, man. I just telling you, that was really dope, dude.
Did he throw any punches?
I think he got up there and rested. I don't think he got. Actually, from what I understand, someone correct me if I'm wrong. Someone tried to attack him, and that's when things started getting a little bad as well.
Okay.
Because he's 16, and they're like, get your hand. I do remember someone talking about, like, don't hit that 16-year-old boy or something like that. But yeah, man, shout out to him, dude. And yeah, I love seeing that. I love seeing the unity. I just, hope we're not back to the bullshit soon, which we will be. But yeah, that was dope, dude. That was dope. Miss B is from Alabama, isn't she?
Mississippi.
Yeah, Mississippi, right next door to it. Okay, never mind. All right, cool. Yeah, let's move on, Lonzo. Something I want to talk with you about. My screen's getting dark. I hope everything's cool. I hope I don't get logged out. But I texted you because I just saw a movie, and I'm a few weeks late on this. Everybody and their mama was telling me to watch this movie, but for whatever reason, I just didn't. But last week, I got to sit down and watch it. I liked it so much that I watched it twice, as did you. While I was watching this, I was just thinking, what would Lonzo say? But I'm talking about They Cloned Tyrone. Shout out to Jamie Foxx. He did an amazing job. Shout out to that movie. I thought it was really, really good. And anybody in the comments who agrees, should give me a shout out, or shout out the movie. But They Cloned Tyrone, and there will be spoiler alerts in this. If you don't want the ending of the movie ruined, press pause or fast forward or something. But I'm gonna give them a breakdown of this, Lonzo, and then I want to talk about it for a little while. They Cloned Tyrone takes place in a fictional city called the Glen. Lots goes down in the Glen: pimping, drug dealing, gang banging, typical niggaverse shit. A few residents of the Glen come across a secret underground lab just below their city where white people are experimenting on black people through such ways as fried chicken ingredients, hair products, even how some music, i.e. drill and gangster rap, affects us. In order to keep their experiments going, they clone the people in the Glen who are doing things that keep black people down: pimping, hoeing, drug dealing, and gangbanging, nigga shit. Whenever a drug dealer is killed, they are cloned and brought back to life so they can continue the experiment. Same with gangbangers, etc. That's just a breakdown of the movie. Lonzo, when you were watching this movie, you liked it so much, you said you watched it twice. Just give me your whole general consensus on this movie.
At first, it took me by surprise. I didn't know what to expect. Okay. Then I realized, wait a minute, they just killed him. He back again, huh? Then they go into the laboratory, and that was crazy. They started seeing different things. They went in one time and saw some shit, and came back, went back again, but they came back prepared, so they thought. And to see all the different, I don't want to give away if you haven't seen it. To see the different sites that they saw while they was in there, got their eyes open. And then when homeboys started talking about the different ways that we affected, like you said, with the hair, the grease, and the chicken, and the music or whatever, dude, just started ringing bells. It started ding, 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 ding. And here's something that here's crazy. It's really crazy. Excuse me. Even if that's a fictional story, what if it was true? Even if it's a fictional story, and I talk about stories that I've heard things I've heard through the through the Matrix or whatever. That meeting they had where executives said skip all this party rap, we're gonna move to gangster rap for the prison system. How when certain artists, ball players, and certain people get so much money, they can't come back to the community or anything for the hood. Now I never heard anybody directly say that, but when you see the effects of it, even though you weren't at the meeting, you never heard the direct conversation, but you see that very few people of any stature come back to do anything major in the hood. They may give out some turkeys, give out some backpacks, but as far as doing some real stuff with some real money, it don't happen like that for us. Okay, when you see the amount of people that go to prison and how we can perpetuate that on ourselves, ain't nobody doing ain't nobody doing the most to us but us. But again, everybody knows if you have a conversation, everybody seems to know what the problem is until they get to the studio and they go right back to the same bullshit. I never forget when Biggie got killed and Tupac got killed. On every radio station, I mean, we got to stop the violence. We got to stop all that. And that was 20-something years ago, and motherfuckers still doing the same shit today. And they're doing it worse than ever before. So don't tell me what you don't know when you're still doing the same shit. When you know better, you're supposed to do better. That's a problem for me. But at the end, when I saw the end and all the fellas come together, I immediately thought about that damn Alabama boat scene. Cause that's what happened. Everybody put all their bullshit aside. Oh, well, we got to go save the homies. Okay, they pulled up in low riders, everything else.
Love that shit.
They went up there and handled some stuff. Okay, and it just I've seen people talk about that one particular scene, that last scene when the cavalry came in and all the low riders and the folks that came through, and they had whatever they had to come up and save the brothers. It just it felt good. It's good to see some black folks win, man. But then you wonder, then you hear the other side. That's what got Jamie messed up. Man, I don't know. People talk about, man. That's probably what, because they claim that he's been cloned. They claim all kinds.
Yeah.
Why would
I
Jamie
don't know what you think about that?
Like that, and then get cloned? You think he got voluntarily cloned? I don't think so. You think he's really happy? I don't think so. Whatever he had, it might have been that same situation that Al B. Sure had. Remember, Al B. Sure was dead man, knocking on death's door for a while. Okay, he was knocking on death's door, and when he came out, he was lighter skinned than he went in. He was already light skinned when he went in. He came out damn near clear. Okay,
yeah,
lost a lot of weight, so you can't go by a man's complexion and weight, especially after you've been sick. That's one time you guaranteed to lose some weight when your ass been sick. So
yeah.
Jamie came out a couple of shades lighter. He ain't been in the sun, dude. He been in the hospital for what, 60 days or something like that. He ain't been out in the sun. He probably on some kind of special diet that won't allow him to really get no good food in his body. So, he gonna look a little different. I can't say he was cloned. I can't say he wasn't cloned. I know he does look different, and there's a justification for it. But Tyrone, they cloned Tyrone, was a cold ass movie.
Man, yes, it was. Yes, it was. Let's talk about Old English. Lonzo, and Malt liquor. You know, there are urban legends out there, and we touched on this before, and we got a lot of backlash in the comments. It's kind of funny, but there are urban legends that for years have said that the government has been putting stuff in malt liquor in order to, you know, control the population, make black folks sterile. You know, break that down, because I know you've heard that before. I probably even heard it.
You know, one thing I know for a fact, you can hardly find that shit in any place else outside the community.
Exactly.
Dude, I roll Los Angeles County from Pomona to Lancaster on a regular basis. I've done it. Once you cross, I'm gonna say shit, the 10. When you cross the 10 freeway, ain't no more malt liquor commercials, ain't no malt liquor signs. It ain't happening no more. Okay, you don't see them no more. When you see them in the hood, thick. I remember.
Same with blunts. You can't find blunts in certain parts of Orange County.
Right. When I remember when St. Ives came out. St. Ives wanted to give Old English a run for their money. They hired every rapper you could think, every rapper with lips. Got $25,000 to do a commercial. Cube, 8, Pooh. I think Pooh was the hookup man for the commercials.
DJ Pooh was one that did the beat. He actually, it was the Biggie beat. The Biggie commercial was the original New York beat for any of my hip hop nerds out there.
Okay, and I think Pooh had the hookup too, if I ain't mistaken. Biggie had a commercial. Cube had a commercial. That was a quick, easy 25 racks. That was the 25 racks. So they knew who they were marketing to. They knew who was going to buy it, and they concentrated their efforts in the community. And that I went to a seminar one time. They were talking about malt liquor. Malt liquor is the bottom of the barrel. It's the bottom of the barrel when all the other light beers and the regular schlitz and the other various beers are drained off or pumped off, whatever the case may be. All the sediment goes to the bottom. Okay, all the sediment goes to the bottom, and it's where the most concentrated part of the alcohol is. And they add the flavor to it so it won't be so nasty. Cause that shit's basically some nasty ass shit. It's really nasty, but because they add a little flavor into it and diluted.
That's where the term "bottom of the barrel." That's where the term "bottom of the barrel" comes from.
And that's why they always put it in glass bottles, because the glass helps preserve it a little bit. Okay, the tinted glass. Everything when it comes to liquor has a reason. There's a reason why brown liquor. Certain liquors is in green bottles. Certain liquors is in brown bottles. Some of them is in dark, clear bottles. It's all a reason for doing that. And a 40 ounce. I think a 40 ounce back in the day was like $1.50. $1.50 at the most. And if you could get 2 20s for like $2, $1. Shit was $1 for 2 of them sandwiches at one time. At one point in time, that was the cheapest shit you can buy. That was the cheapest high you can buy. Okay. And it just became it was marketed to young black folks in the inner city, and a lot of people died behind that shit. A lot of people killed behind that shit, because that was. Where I used to, by the eve after dark, right next to the Eve, there's a gas station. And I never understood how a gas station was allowed to sell liquor, because I watched too many cats pump gas, take it to the head. While they pumping that $2, they killing it right there, or they'll just take it, put it in the bag, and drive off between their legs. So you got a 502 waiting to go down El Segundo. But it is what it is, man. It was legal, so they can sell it where they want to, but it's where you drink it at, where the problem come in at. Now, yeah, we always had some rot gut. Vista Light 1972. Yes, we had shitloads of rot gut. Mad Dog 2020. That ain't nothing but flavored battery acid. That's some Kool-Aid and battery acid. Thunderbird wasn't much better, and Night Train damn sure wasn't better. But it was all cheap. Me and my cousins, when that shit was popular, we would take it and we would literally mix it with Kool-Aid to try and kill the bitterness of it. And it worked for the most part. But actually, we kind of invented wine coolers by using Tyrolia pineapple juice. That was our shit. Tyrolia and pineapple juice. That was some of the best shit we drank. And it might cost us $3 for a bottle of Tyrolia. We got a pack of Chip Ahoy cookies and a $5 bag. That was our Friday night. That was our Friday night.
Good old days, man. When life was simple, huh?
$7 with $7 and had a hell of a time.
You know, they've been promoting malt liquor to the black community as long as I can remember. Even when I was a baby, I remember seeing like Billy D. Williams, Code 45, you know, and things like that, man. I wonder, I have to look into this myself. I wonder how they decided to target.
Well, you had, we always had beers. You had one with the champagne of beers. What the, you had the champagne of
Miller Genuine Draft, MGD, I think?
No. It was,
it was the other one.
My auntie.
Help us out.
Miller.
High Life. Miller High Life.
Miller High Life. That Miller High Life was the champagne of beers. Then you had Schlitz malt liquor, yeah. High Life, that shit still sells back east in the Chicago. Man, that shit still sells to this day. Okay, you can hardly find it in LA for the most part. They still sell it, but ain't nowhere near as popular. When I went back east, man, that shit was everywhere. Miller High Life. We stopped drinking that shit in the 12th grade. Y'all still, hey, it is what it is. Then they had they even Code 45, because Billy D. Williams was pushing it, had a bit of elegance to it. Billy D. Williams, Code 45, and he got this fine broad on his arm. It wasn't until the late 80s, early 90s, till malt liquor became the target audience for malt liquor became gang or young black folks. Because Billy D. Williams appealed to the grown men. He was a grown man. He was that dude. Lando Calrissian, okay? He was that dude. So he had a different market for what he was doing. And like my man Mickey Big Mouth, Mickey's Big Mouth. Remember when that shit first came out? That was like a classy beer. I don't know how, but it was classy beer. My friend's father had a liquor store. He sold that shit by the tons. Couldn't keep it in when it first came out. Then we had other shit like Champagne, okay, and Zima. Y'all know about no Zima. Okay. You know about those Zimas? You ever heard of Zima before?
Of course, man. 90s, dude. Yeah, I can still taste it. Yeah. I remember the Zima, man. That was huge for about 2 years.
Zima was my shit. Because I would take Zima. I sold it at the club downstairs. I poured a little grenadine in it. That shit tastes pretty good. It didn't have, all it was like clear beer, but you put a little flavor to it. It wasn't that bad. And then we had the Champagne. I used to give contests downstairs for at Jeffy's for Miss. I had to deal with the distributor. I'd give Miss Champagne contest. Oh, it was fun, boy. Talking about the fun I had in the studio, in the office. Anyway.
Love it, dude. Love it. Let's move on to some hip hop, Lonzo, and let me remind everyone to hit that like button if you haven't already. And if this is your first time joining the channel and you like what you hear, please hit that subscribe button. You are tuned in to Not Without Alonzo. This is Alonzo Williams, the godfather of West Coast hip hop, and I am Dusty Vision. Now, last week, Lonzo, we've talked about Cletus and Kelvin in the past. We did a whole segment on them last week, but you specifically mentioned a song called.
You do know that Tory Lanez got 10 years.
Called Killer Dayton. Can you hear me?
You do know that Tory Lanez got 10 years, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Yep, that just came in about an hour before. Oh, it's on. Right, it's cool. On the thing. Right, yep, it's there. I'm looking at it right now. Yep. Real quick, we'll talk about this and then we'll jump into Tory Lanez. But we talked specifically about the song called Killer Daytons. And I just listened to the song for the first time in my life, I do believe, just a couple of days ago, because I wanted to talk about it a little bit. Specifically, I want you to explain the song from what you remember, and then talk about Daytons, explain what Daytons were. I know, but explain to the people out there who don't, and how people were literally getting their life taken over Daytons.
When Dayton wire rims first came out in the late 80s, they were like, I don't know, I think they were like $5,000 or something like that. They were expensive. And if you had a Cadillac, a Mustang 5.0, or any kind of tight ass lowrider, and you got caught at the light, making a left hand turn, a lot of times they would just jam you at the left hand lane where you can't get out, rob you, and sometimes shoot you and take them rims. And the reputation, the rims were so valued in the hood. The rims were more valued than brothers' lives. The rims were more valued than brothers' lives, especially the gold Daytons. Okay, Snoop got a song. He says it. Don't get caught in the light on with that's it, at 83 Cadillac sitting on D's. Okay, now the value has gone
down. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
The value has gone down considerably over the years. In fact, I saw a thing today on Facebook. They got a new spinner cap for the Daytons. You know, they're spinning like the spinning rims the Speedwells used to have. But they was the hottest thing going. And I never understood why somebody would want to put something on their car they know somebody's willing to kill you for. But that was the hottest thing going. And Cletus made a song called Killer Daytons. And it's all this Killer Daytons. And they do the rap, blah, blah, blah. I tell you, but you better not be caught, Killer Daytons. And it just was a phenomenon, man, because again, as a grown-ass man, I always use logic when I made decisions on doing different things. And them gold Daytons, that's right, them gold Daytons, gold Daytons on anything was get you followed home or get you robbed in the drive-through. Guaranteed. Somebody gonna catch your eye. Okay? And here's the crazy part about it: you would steal them, put them on your car, and somebody would jack you for them. They got passed around like a blunt. In fact, if you remember, not Boys in the Hood, Minister Society, that's what Kane was doing. That's
Minister Society.
Minister Society. Kane, that's what his first move was. He thought he got a Mustang, saw a fool at the light, jacked him for his ride, and made him buy him a burger. Real talk. So back then, making records was relatively easy. But if you heard something on the streets, and the first one could get to the studio, next one get to the pressing plant, you can sell 500 to 1,000 records, couple thousand records locally. If you had something, because back then hip hop was so new, people would pretty much buy anything. And Cletus had the outlet. It didn't hurt him; it cost him a few dollars. I think he paid Dre to scratch on the record and some other stuff, and this shit, it was in and out.
Crazy. And not only did it alert the Jack Boys, but it alerted the police that, hey, maybe this guy has a few dollars. Let's pull him over and see what's inside his car.
You know what? I have never understood why somebody doing some illegal shit would fix their car up to look like they're doing illegal shit. You're supposed to have a bucket for your dirt. And even if you got and here's another thing. The cops pretty much know if you're riding around with a car with, I don't know, hydraulics, tight ass rims, tight ass paint job, whatever the case may be, they pretty much know you probably got some way to protect this thing, some way, form, or fashion. All they gotta do is do a little fishing. They're probably gonna find your gun. You're an easy target. You just told them, and the people, they're harassing me. No, you're telling on yourself, sir. 5.0 Mustangs, Nissan trucks. What else? Suzuki Samurais. These were all dope dealer and cutlasses. If I'm missing something else, put it in the chat room. 5.0 Mustangs, Nissan trucks, and Suzuki Samurais were all dope dealer trucks back in the day. That was the first thing. When you made your first $5,000, you bought one of them 3 cars. And also a Cutlass, okay? 88 Cutlass with the T-tops. So if you got one of those 4 vehicles, 9 times out of 10, either you were slinging dope or gangbanging. 9 times out of 10. Mike T. CMW 662. I see you over there. Okay, so if you got one of them 4 vehicles, you pretty much told on yourself. You already gave up your position, what you into. So if you ride down the street with 3 or 4 cats in the car, and the cops pull you over because you got 3 or 4 cats in the car in a Mustang or a Cutlass, y'all finna get jacked hard. So yeah, Doc, that was the story behind Killer Daytons. Doc Cletus had a store, he had an outlet for it. He knew he could sell 1,000 records easy. If it took off, he guaranteed to get his money back. If it took off, shit, he had multiple stores to sell it in.
So cool, man. That's so cool. Let's talk Tory Lanez, man. A couple hours before the show started, it was official that Tory Lanez sentenced to 10 years in prison for his involvement in the shooting of Megan Thee Stallion. Talk to me.
Man, I kind of knew that was coming down, Doc. They said a whole lot of things were being said about him not doing it. He was shooting at somebody else. But if I ain't mistaken, homeboy was already on probation or parole. Was he on some kind of
probably? Yeah. Even then, yeah.
He had a legal leash or something already.
Yeah, and plus he's technically from Canada.
He ain't from here. That's what it is. Okay, he already had a legal issue. Your girlfriend hops out the car, foot bleeding, cops right there, gun in the car. You in the front seat, she in the front seat. That's a hard sell, man. Now, I don't know. I'm not sure if he did it or not, but he damn sure gonna pay for it. That's obvious. They said it said I've heard all kind of shit. The girl in the back seat, somebody. And man, I don't know nothing about that right there. All I know is he put himself in a bad position when your girlfriend, who you've been arguing with, hopping out the car, hands up, limping on one foot, and the other one bleeding, and you come out the car, and the gun's in the car. Dude, that's not a good position to put yourself in. And cats don't be thinking, man. Cats don't be thinking.
It was probably going so fast for him too, and everything just happened so fast.
Yes, sir.
That would be what I would.
Yes, sir. You forget, man. Cats forget that when you out in these streets, man. Especially if you got a legal tail on you already, probation, parole, or just out of pocket, one way, form, or fashion, that all that shit compiles against you. And next thing you know, you're doing some that's a nice little vacation, dude. This ain't no joke. 10 years, that's a long time for a cat his size. Okay, that's a long time for a cat his size. All right, he ain't no big dude. I never knew how he got Megan Thee Stallion in the first place, but personal taste is personal taste. That's what she liked. That's what she liked. But somebody else in jail probably gonna like it too.
Yeah, he's probably gonna be paying a lot of people off, man.
Yeah, I mean, he tried. Rumor has it, of course, he tried to give her
to keep from getting ran up in.
Yeah, he tried to pay her off so they wouldn't. She wouldn't testify. But some things, man, even if she don't testify. A girl hopping out the car, foot with a bullet hole in it, police right there, is hard for you not to go to jail. If it was me, it'd be hard for me not to go to jail. If it was you, Dusty, it'd be hard for you not to go to jail. Martin Cozy, Gary's Garage, if that was y'all, it'd be hard for you not to go to jail. You have to figure out how. And first of all, you ain't a citizen, you shouldn't be nowhere near a gun. First of all,
California at that.
First of all, if you ain't a citizen, you shouldn't be nowhere near a gun. Whose gun was it? Is the next case. Was it his gun? The only reason why I have never had a major issue when I did what I did back in the day with guns, it was all my guns. They were always my guns. I wouldn't bought them, paid for them. They was registered to me. They don't make the crime no less, but it makes having that gun a lot less complicated. when you have guns that don't belong to you or not registered, that's a whole nother headache. If you have a gun and you got a legal leash, parole, probation, or out of pocket some way, form, or fashion, whole nother headache. Complicates everything. Thank God, well, shot her in the foot, that's assault with a deadly weapon. That ain't attempted murder. If he shot above the waist, it would have been attempted murder. He'd have got 15 plus. All this gunplay, the folks think you can watching Sons of Anarchy and all these other shows where they shoot people and nobody go to jail. That's bullshit.
Nope.
That's why I stopped watching shows like that, man. I watched Sons of Anarchy. I used to love that show. And I realized these guys that shot all these people, ain't nobody went to jail. And when they do go to jail, some miracle person comes out of the clear blue sky and bail everybody out. Come on, get the fuck out of here. Y'all giving folks wrong, fake hopes, man.
That's like music. You just explained drill rap and the gangster rap. Most of those guys do not live that, but they're giving this false, hope out to these kids that, yeah, if I go to jail, homie, I'm standing 10 feet tall. I ain't never snitching. I ain't going PC, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, they aren't living that life, dude. It's all Hollywood.
Nah, man. You don't know what no man does behind closed doors, what no man does behind closed bars. Okay, dude. You always hear about cats going to jail. You never heard about the guys that end up washing drawers and braiding hair. You never talk about them guys. Somebody washing drawers, somebody braiding hair, and somebody is knocking cats off from the kneecaps. Okay, somebody is servicing people from the knees. Somebody getting run up into from the rear, but you'll never hear about that. Never. So certain things take place in prison, but you never hear anybody talk about those things that I did this. Okay. I ain't trying to find out. So that's how I go, Doc. And I hope nobody I know try to find out.
For real, ain't that the truth, man? Marlon Cozy has a good question. I don't think we've ever talked about this. Yo, Unc, when did you first get introduced to guns?
Man, my daddy always carried a gun. My daddy, we cut lawns every week. My daddy kept a gun in the compartment of his door. He had an old Ford truck, and these trucks had a big zipper pocket. And he put his gun and what he called his kitty in the door compartment of the door. And I just thought it was normal for him to carry a gun. He carried a Chrome 32. I'd never forget as long as I live. I never seen him put it in his waistband, his pocket, but it was always in the car. My dad's from Mississippi. Mississippi had a different vibe when it came to carrying guns. Okay, that's where he's from. He got anything of value, he carried a gun. And my cousin, my crazy ass cousin in Oakland, he was a jeweler. He is a jeweler. He was a jeweler. He's still alive. And I go hang out with him for a few days in the summer. He got all this jewelry on. And everywhere he went, he put his 9mm in his panty pack. I'm a grown ass man. I thought that was the coolest shit in the world. When I got back to LA, I started carrying my 38 in my fanny pack. LA different. LA a little different. They ain't really playing it. I would wear at the eve, I would wear 2 pistols, one on my ankle, one on the small of my back. I had holsters the whole 9 yards. And it just, you thought you was doing something. Even during the week when I wasn't at the eve, I would carry one of them with me. Okay, because I just thought I had to. Nobody really messed with me. I never had problems like that. But because I saw people that did shit, I thought it was necessary. I never had to use my gun outside of a couple of situations at the club. And even then, it was always, I wasn't trying to kill nobody. I just ain't trying to get my ass shot. Okay. But when you bring a gun into any situation, everything goes through the roof. Everything gets multiplied, divided, increased. Mandatory shit start kicking in. You got to do a mandatory 2 years. You got to do a mandatory this. So when you bring a gun to any kind of fight, mandatory shit start kicking in. Mandatory. You got to go sit your ass down for a while, at least a year. How many times you had a gun charge? Oh, okay. I got caught 2.5 times. I got caught 2.5 times. I think it was almost 3.5 times. And one time I didn't go to jail, but the one time my girl left the gun in the hotel. We did a dance at the Biltmore Hotel downtown LA, and my girl she worked downtown, so she went to work the next morning, Monday morning, and I just knew she put the gun in the suitcase. And then when I get home, I get a call from the Biltmore Hotel. Mr. Williams, we found something in your dresser. What you find? We found your pistol. I'm sorry, sir, we can't allow that kind of activity in our hotel. We have security. I said, well, I carry a lot of money, blah, blah. They don't want to hear that shit. By the time I got back to the hotel, my gun had been transferred over to the LAPD department. You know, I got it back, but I couldn't go back to the hotel no more dances. Biltmore was done with my ass. That was my second one anyway, but they was done with my ass. You be bringing guns around too many white people.
We say the half. Where's the half come in?
I got caught with it, but I didn't go to jail. I just so happened, oh man, it was crazy. Two of my girls got into a fight at Eve After Dark. My girlfriend and my future girlfriend, they both worked there. I was doing way too much. And my girlfriend was supposed to go home, but she didn't go home. She took a friend home and came back to the club. Meanwhile, I got my future girlfriend in the car about to take her home. And they got to fighting in the parking lot. They fighting like a son of a gun, Doc. And my girl goes in her purse and grabs her mace. And she got her mace like this right here, like a pistol. But it was empty. And my other girl jumped out. They got to fighting. So, but homeboy in the gas station thought she had a gun. He called the police. So we got them apart. Everything was cool. But before I could get my ass back in the car, the helicopter showed up. And by the time I got in the car and got ready to fire up, the police was turning the corner. They blocked us off from all four corners. And man, it was a Thursday night, Mel Exotic. I just made me a nice piece of change. And I had on this cream, all white Mr. Rourke Fantasy Island suit on. I was clean as a chitlin, man. And they drew down on my ass. All right, get on the ground. Hold on, man. You see, I'm trying to talk I'm in the parking lot, this greasy ass parking lot. I am trying not to get my shit all messed up. And the white boys, they drew down on my ass. They said, come on, I'm still talking. And a sergeant pulled up. The sergeant knew me. He knew I was the person in charge. And as I was bending down, about to get on one knee, Lonzo, come here. Meanwhile, the white guy is going through my car. Okay? He find my shit. He find my gun, and he takes it over to the black sergeant I'm talking to. And I dropped my head. He said, you know, you could go to jail tonight. I said, man, what can we do? He said, just be quiet. Sit on the car. He handcuffed me, set me on the damn car. And some call came, and the cop that found the gun took off, and the brother just took my bullets, took my clip out. Get out of here. And that was it.
Wow. Whew. Close call, man. Damn, that's a good question, Marlon. Good looking out on that. Something I want to talk about, Lonzo, before we end the show. You sent me an article where you were mentioned in it. You were quoted. And we can't end the 50-year anniversary of hip-hop, I put that in quotes, without talking about KDAY, KDAY, classic, legendary radio station, not only here in Los Angeles, but across the country. Arguably the first radio station to play hip-hop on a regular basis. You know, before hip-hop was played 24 hours a day or whatnot, it was only, you could probably maybe catch a mix of it, like 2 hours at a midnight mix or something like that, midnight to 2 p.m. You got, you know, DJ Red Alert or, you know, whoever would do a mix. You know this, I'm just explaining to the crowd, Lonzo. But I would love to talk about KDAY. And I'm gonna just, I circled a couple of quotes from this article that you're in. I think it was an LA Times article. It was an LA Times article. But let's see, within the 90 days of Greg Mack's hiring, KDAY leapfrogged all the way to number 2 in the ratings before they were literally last when it came to the urban format. They moved all the way up to 2, only second to KACE 103.9. Talk to us about Greg Mack. you know, this legendary hip hop station called KDAY, and when you really started noticing them getting some traction?
I had to work with KDAY at Eve After Dark. They became my go-to radio station. I worked with everybody: KACE, Cute 102, and KDAY and KGFJ. But KDAY gave us the most coverage. The lady who introduced the salesperson, they introduced me to Greg Mack, is still a friend of mine right to this day. Her name is Rochelle Lucas. She works for KGLH. And I teach all the time, you changed hip hop forever. You don't even know it. You're not even a hip hop fan. You just made a connection that blew some things up.
What?
She told me, she said, we got a new program director coming to town. I want to set you up with a meeting with him. Okay, cool. I already knew Jack Patterson was the program director. I knew JJ Johnson. I knew the whole KDAY crew. But when Greg came here, he had a different attitude. And Greg, he wasn't here 2 weeks. He might have been there. I might have been one of the first few meetings. I just shut the Eve down. Eve had just shut down. I was about to move to Dudos, and I was nervous because one, Dudos was in Compton. Dudos is on Piru. Everybody think I'm crazy already. Negro, you gonna take it to Dudos on Piru? And dude, they think I'm out of my goddamn mind. Oh man, blah 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 blah. We in Compton for the first time because Eve was not in Compton. It was LA County technically. And I'd had so many problems with the sheriff, and I figured, you know, I'm gonna give this a little test. So I started testing. Well, I hadn't shut the Eve down. I was testing the Eve out. I was testing Dudos. I would do Dudos for a minute or one Friday and do Eve on Saturday. I'd been doing a little test marketing, and it was cool. It was cool, but it still wasn't. It wasn't what I wanted yet. And Greg heard us do these mega mixes. I was selling these Z-Rocks and cut ups and scratch parties. I was selling all that shit. He heard that shit. He never heard the mixes before. I want some of those every week. And we started doing them. He would give us the hottest records. And every day, I had to go to KDAY and drop off the latest mix. And Dre and Yellow were waiting till shit 12 o'clock to do the mix. And I got to fight traffic up the 110 freeway, up Alvarado, go up the damn hill to KDAY and drop off the mix. And but because we did that, it gave us a lot of pub for Dudos. And the whole thing, because by this time, it was only two people that were still standing for the promoters, Uncle Jam's Army and Wrecking Crew. We were the only ones that were still, everybody else, LSD, Z-Cars, everybody had kind of fell off, and we was kind of battling for local supremacy. And they were doing big dances. They were doing the Biltmore, they were doing the sports arena. I mean, they were doing the convention center and the sports arena. We was doing the Biltmore, Queen Mary, Eve After Dark. But we still weren't the biggest. We was the most consistent. And KDAY gave us a platform that even before Greg got here, because I was advertising on KDAY because KDAY promoted Cameo. Before they changed formats, I would go to Greg. Steve Patterson. Steve Patterson, whatever his name was, and by advertising. And when Greg got here, he changed it up because KDAY was doing hip hop. KGFJ was also doing hip hop. They just didn't have the same power. KGFJ was a real local station. If you went past the 91 freeway, you couldn't hear KGFJ. It had a real weak signal. If you passed the 710 freeway, you couldn't hear KGFJ. KGFJ, it was only in the hood. But even at one point in time, because we was doing mixes for them too, my boy Kevin Fleming, who's another good brother, he had started the format, but Greg came in and just turned it up. It turned it up to a whole other level because now they're doing it 24/7. And they got 50,000 watts. And they claim that 50,000 watts of AM stereo. Ain't nobody ever heard of AM stereo radio yet, but they claimed it AM stereo. And it just took hip hop to another level. Plus, he and I were partnered up on Doodles. He's bringing in LL Cool J, New Edition, everybody. Greg's the program director. So anybody wanted their records promoted, they had to come to KDAY to get the radios on the air. Then they had to give us the group, become the Doodles. He and I would work out, split on Doodles. Then he'd take him to Sherman Square Roller Week on Saturday nights. So he was killing it. And it was just a hell of a time, man. KDAY gave a lot of love to a lot of artists. They never segregated East from West. They supported everybody, and that was one thing that that some guys got a little upset about. Well, we don't get paid. We don't get played on WBLS in New York, but y'all play all our stuff. Well, shit, we had a different format. We were not only artists, we were all record label owners. We had a different come up from East Coast. So he was mixing our stuff with their stuff, and it just worked. Plus, he was, by having us hot and having them hot, it gave us all a chance to heat up. Shit. Dude, it was just a hell of a time, man. It was a hell of a time. It will never happen again.
Man, sounds so dope. You were quoted in the article as saying, one of the first shows World Class Wrecking Crew did was at Fremont High School, opening for New Edition. KDAY had a contest, and whatever school won got a free concert with New Edition. I got World Class Wrecking Crew to be the opening act, and then we brought everyone to the Eve After Dark that night. Talk to us about that night.
I don't know how they got that twisted up. We brought them back to Doodles. Eve couldn't have held nobody like that. We brought them back to Doodles. They had they acted a fool too, boy. Because Doodles was huge, and it had an upstairs room for VIP parties. The VIP was crowded. Downstairs was crowded. Man, that place was a mess. It was beautiful. I think we performed. We performed at Fremont, came back to Doodles, set up the sound system at Doodles. And I ain't talking about no sophisticated shit. I barely had enough microphones for them all to see. I think we performed that night too at Doodles. No, I don't think we didn't perform at Doodles because it was I had to make a decision. Either I would be a performer or a goddamn promoter. I couldn't do both that night. The crowd was too massive. Caught me totally off guard. Because I'm not hip to do Edition like that. I didn't know these girls was going to be screaming and hollering and passing out and doing all kind of dumb shit. And people who didn't go to Fremont came to see them. And it just was a madhouse. So they had to bring in the FOI. I had to bring in extra cops, FOI, and security guards. And it was just a mess, dude. It was a straight mess. But it was a beautiful mess. Put it like that.
Yeah.
Beautiful
that
mess.
Sounds dope. Maybe we can end it. With this question. Kevin DeCoon wants to know, Lonzo, you got any stories of Cypress Hill? I'm interested. 30th anniversary of the Black Sunday album, classic.
Can't say I do, Doc. My only connection to Cypress Hill is through Mellow Man Ace. I know Muggs and come on, man. Damn.
Sin Dog,
but I don't.
And yeah, Be Real.
Yeah, I don't have any stories with him. All I know is that Mellow Man Ace, was who I'm super cool with, and one of them is brothers. That's it. Can't help.
Yeah, Sin Dog is his brother.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Reyes
brothers.
brothers.
Man, I got
good people out there. Good people.
My boy passed today, man. Casper, left foot stomp, and right foot stomp. You cha-cha to the left.
Cha-cha-cha slide, right?
Died.
Casper. Oh, shit. Talk to us, man.
I talked to Casper a few months ago. He's been fighting cancer for a while, man. He was, and I talked to him. He just came out. I think he did chemo or something like that. He real cool dude. I made a lot of money with him, dude. Because when he had that cha-cha slide, I was doing my Chicago stepping parties at the Proud Bird off of Aviation, and we was rocking it in. We was woo. Some people got mad at me because I'm like, I told y'all want to do this right here. I knew this was going. I didn't even. If y'all want to be down, you can. Put some money up right now. Oh, we not okay. Fine. I put the money up. We killed it. We're not gonna get. Nope. You ain't getting shit. You're not getting shit. Okay. You're gonna get a lesson. You're gonna get a lesson. If I tell you put some money in something, If I put my money in, goddamn, best be sure I'm gonna do my best to make sure it cracked, and it did. That was my dude, man. He's a real cool brother.
Damn, man.
Real cool brother. Yeah.
R.I.P. Casper. May you rest in peace, and thank you to your contribution to music. Man, Lonzo, let's wrap it up, man. These hours fly by, dude. I love doing this, and I hope you guys out there like this West Coast hip hop history. We kind of did this specifically in the past month or so, and you guys seem to like it, according to the views. So, thank you guys for tuning in. But like I have said for the past few weeks, I don't see any other podcasts out there just telling the story of West Coast hip hop, and who best to tell it than the man who was there, the pioneer, the man, Lonzo Williams. So thank you, Lonzo, for sharing all of your stories. We're still going to keep this history thing going because it's really important. But yeah, man, 50 years of hip hop, it's like next week. I think that's the anniversary. So enjoy the shows. If you guys haven't out there haven't checked out some previous shows, check out the archives. The 12th, right? Is it the 12th? I could be wrong. Is it today? Somebody correct me. I don't know why. I had the 12th in my head.
I tell you what, on the 12th, next Monday, me and a group of hip hop pioneers, we flying to Sacramento to be recognized on the floor of the state Senate in Sacramento by the Senate and the Assembly. They're doing a big thing for us down in Sacramento, folks. So yeah, your boy will be down there getting some flowers and some trophies and hanging out with the senators and the assemblymen. I'm gonna check on their reparations while I'm down there, see where the money at. Anyway, we're gonna go out and represent Kelvin from VIP, some few other folks. Adrian, he may show up, and it's gonna be an interesting thing. We're gonna have a real historical event going down next Monday on the state Senate floor at the Capitol in Sacramento, folks.
That's huge, man. That's huge. Before we go, Kevin DeCoon says Straight Outta Compton was true. Hey, Kevin DeCoon, we've done a lot of Straight Outta Compton stuff. Go to the search bar in YouTube, type in Lonzo Williams, Straight Outta Compton, and we've done probably 30 videos on Straight Outta Compton so you can get your point of view. But yeah, man, always a pleasure, Lonzo.
I got this new line I'm going to drop on you right quick. I've been working on this right here. Y'all check this out. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. My name is Lonzo. Some of y'all never heard of me, but I'm the first man to put Dr. Dre in the surgery, put Ice Cube in the freezer till he got cold, owner of the Eve After Dark, 50-yard line Super Bowl. In the movie Straight Outta Compton, they played me like a hater of rap. Don't believe the Hollywood bullshit because it was all cap. My history goes so deep, some of y'all will never know. Just remember that N.W.A. stands for Not Without Alonzo. Peace.
Hey! Love it, man.
We got it, y'all.
Always a pleasure, Lonzo. Good stuff. Hey, that you got to end out every show now, man. Every show.
Peace.
All right. Tell us what you think of that. All right, peace, man.